are live.
Good morning, everybody. I guess it's still morning.
Yes.
It's still morning.
Yes.
We are doing Facebook Live kind of impromptu this morning because we have a really fun guest. And I want to introduce you to Varian. Varian Brandon is here all the way from North Carolina. And she's doing some design work. And we are about ready to ship out our yarn club next week. And with her design. So, Varian, thank you for joining us on Facebook Live this morning.
My goodness.
Yeah.
This is wonderful.
I know, it's pretty exciting. So, Varian, I think I'd like you to tell what you do. And then I think it'd be fun to talk about how we met.
Yes.
When that was exactly. But go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am, as I said, from North Carolina, a little town in North Carolina. I am a Stranded Colorwork designer. And Stranded Colorwork is the broad term for a bunch of different types of knitting, the most known of which is Fair Isle. Fair Isle is a type of Stranded Colorwork. So I do mostly all Stranded Colorwork designs. I teach. I have a website with lots of tutorials on different aspects of Stranded Colorwork. So that's just what I do. It's not really niche anymore, but it was a little niche.
Well, you do it well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Varian does it very beautifully, and I am not a really great knitter, but it always intimidates me when I look at it, but they're so beautiful. And I think one of the things that Varian does that just is exceptional is your eye for color. And I just really appreciate that. You pick combinations that I don't think about, and I love that. We're going to talk about that here too in a minute, but I think we met at TNNA, which is the National Needle Art Trade Association, when it existed. It doesn't exist anymore. But we would go and show our wares, you know, in the big convention centers. And Varian, you would walk the floor and meet people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's me walking the floor.
Yeah.
No, it was great because it was a big, huge convention, and you would have all sorts of what I call pipe and drape little little stalls for different yarn people, and I would walk around as a designer and say, this is what I do. And we were connected by a mutual person, and we came up with a design that we were going to do together, which was the West at Heart hat and mittens.
Right, which are awesome, and we're going to reintroduce them someday.
Well,
but anyway,
that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And so we worked, and it worked out really nicely. And we kind of done a little bit along through the years, and it's great.
Yeah, and I'm thrilled that she's in Wyoming, of all places.
Oh, no, I love it. I love it. West at Heart, which is what...
West at Heart, there you go. And you have a reason to come to the West.
Yes.
Now, and we're going to keep you involved even more as we go.
Good, because I love it.
Yeah, it's exciting. So if any of you have not seen, this is what is coming in the Yarn Club. We'll be shipping all this out next week. The table is loaded with all these beautiful colors. Wow. And so this is the hat that you'll get in your kit. And then these are the mittens, which if you wanted to order the kit separately, you could do that. So it's called the Encastico hat. And this is going to be really interesting to show you because Varian has the colors that we sent her to begin with.
Well, it wasn't her fault. I asked them.
Okay, you did.
I did. It was my mistake.
So she got the colors, and I just want you to talk about why we went with something different. So we'll hold them both up.
Okay, what we started with was I got a phone call from Mountain Meadow that said, would you like to do a project for us? And I went up on the website and looked at colors and just thought, I know color. I'll just choose these and these. It'll be perfect. Don't ever do that. Order your colors. Make a swatch just to make sure. And as I said, it's nothing to do with the yarn. It was my ego, I think, more than anything else. But this is what came up, and just because the colors were too close. If you've done any sort of stranded work where you have a foreground and a background, the back is supposed to separate, but so through here you really couldn't see it. And I sat on it for a while, and I had to swallow my pride and say, Karen, we need to have another color. So what I chose was the Cowboy Brown. And so what it did, and you can see the difference between
totally
the two,
changed.
You actually can see the color, see the pattern on there. And I changed a couple of things. And what this pattern does is it starts with this lovely loop-in color, which is one of my favorites. And you start with this here, and you knit six rounds, you're knitting in the round, and then do your turning round. But at least when you start your color work on this side, you have something to hold on to, which it's a lot easier sometimes if you have a little bit of something to start with. And you go add in all the other stuff and close it off. There is no shaping until the very top. And like this, you can, that's what sits in the back. Like the old the hams where you can see the top most, but it's a slouch. I like the slouches better because they don't, on me, let's put it that way, on me, the slouch is like you have like a pinhead, and it just, and on other people they look great, on me it look awful. So anyway, but that's that. So, and then you come back, and along that cast on edge, you pick up all the stitches, and then you do a little bit of color work just because you can, and then because you've only used a little bit of the salmon, you finish off the inside, so it's got a nice little inside sort of piece to it. So that's kind of fun, and of course I said I love the swatch, but you get this much done from the beginning, and then you have just a little filler in here, and then you get to do that stuff on the top. And then the gloves, I'm just taking off here. Sorry.
No, you go. That's what this is.
The gloves have the same sort of patterning here, and this is what I call a fitted peasant thumb. A peasant thumb usually just kind of sticks out like this. This actually has been fitted in, so that it fits up on your thumb like that, and then
feels
you have
really nice.
A nice cuff in here for sort of thing. And what I like about them is they lie flat. It's because that's all about what it's supposed to be, is what it looks like in the drawer. Anyway,
well, they look beautiful, and I think a lot of people they see this beautiful color work and it looks intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
But Varian does have wonderful tutorials. What were you telling me this morning about the one that just was very simple? It was
I teach a whole.
Yeah.
I teach a bunch of classes.
I
taught a bunch of classes, and I use a two-handed hold for my stranded work, so that which means you're doing Western in one hand and Continental in the other, and you just hold them and it works, and they never get twisted. A lot of people who drop and pick up, or they hold them in one hand, the yarns get twisted, and so you're just working away, and you do the greatest thing about reading colorwork charts is you always read from the right to the left, from the bottom to the top. So other charts you read one way and then you go back and you have to, and the knits on one side or the pearls on the other. So it just gets very, but for stranded colorwork charts, it's all knitting, and you always start at the right hand side and you always work that way.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So do you have some of these tutorials on your website?
I have tutorials on my website that I have ran a series called Stranded Colorwork Discussion. And I start with what is stranded colorwork and work all the way through to blocking, and they're like 17 or 18 episodes. So we go through, we talk about what kind of fabric it forms, how you use your markers, and in this case, for this one here, sorry, let me just take everything off your lap.
I'm the holder. That's all I am.
So with this pattern, you would put a marker in between each one of the repeats, and that helps you kind of keep your place, which is a good thing. And then I also do weaving in long floats, what you do when you're changing from one needle to the other, catching it there. I'm not quite do blocking at the end. I'm not quite all the way through yet, but I do a little bit each time. I also have different other things about the aspect of all stranded colorwork. That's all I do.
Well, she's an expert. At least to me, you are. Well, the nice thing is, if you're in our yarn club, or if you still not too late to join, but if you want to attempt something like this, we have a wonderful resource who can answer questions, who can help if you get stuck, and with her the tutorials and stuff on your website, I think that you shouldn't have any trouble at all. Be not afraid. Yeah,
definitely don't be afraid at all. And what's more, I always say that if you have a question, come to me, come to Kath here, or come to me too, and because I'm here to help. That's my whole thing. And even if it's, well, I used to say even if it's not one of my patterns, but in this case, in this pattern, it's I'm here to help. That's what I do, because I have this whole thing. You haven't ever heard me say this before, but I have this evil plot to take over the world with Stranded Colorwork knitting. And so you have to join the movement, and that's it. And I want to get as many people as I can doing Stranded Colorwork knitting.
That's great.
So,
that's great.
World dominance through Stranded Colorwork knitting.
Okay. Oh, I guess that's a good thing.
Maybe.
Website
Is www.brandonknittingdesigns.com, and the links say video podcast on the top of that. So.
Okay. So, is there anything else we should talk about? Any questions, John?
No question. Gail Sparks says, I knit two-handed color work also.
Yes, good for Gail.
So,
It's easy to do.
so say that web address one more time and we will post it.
Okay. BrandonKnittingDesigns.com, and that's BRANDN.
Okay. Well, thanks, Varian.
Thank you.
You're headed to Cody today, and then Jackson, and Yellowstone. So
and Grand Tetons. We're getting the full thing.
Awesome. That's awesome. And she has her knitting in her bag. I already saw it. So
yeah.
We do a lot of naturals at Mount Meadow Wool, but I love it when people color. Varian is
color.
one of the
color.
best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really do love it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's fun.
That's good. Thanks.